welcome to Halas Hall Report. Everybody knows me as Woody Bear Down, and our host, Bear Fan Dan. What's up, Dano?
What's going on, Woody?
Not a hell of a lot after last week's game. It just sucked. I
Pretty
mean,
much.
up 28-7.
In,
And they decided to make halftime adjustments when they didn't need to. So they laxed in the second half. And Broncos wanted it more than I did, obviously, more than the Bears did. A couple of, good players that, played great. Justin Fields, number one passer of the week. Big fumble that he had. There was a missed block by Cole Kmet. Could have chipped that guy. And that's what fucked our game up right there, that fumble. Herbert, great game. But my stud and duds, my stud is Cole Kmet. Got in the end zone twice. Played like you want to be there, wanted to be on the field. My dud is the second half adjustments. Just terrible on what they did. So what do you think, Dan? Your stud and dud of last week?
I think for one thing, I got two of them. One would be Khalil Herbert. He had 18 carries, 103 yards, averaged 5.7 yards. But the other one would have to be Justin Fields.
Yep, of course.
Setting that record for 16 consecutive passes. Plus he had it was 28 of 35 for 335 yards, 4 touchdowns, and then that one interception that lost the game.
Yeah, that fumble was big. I mean, like I said, it wasn't all Justin Fields. A missed block, and he fumble for a touchdown. So Bear Down Mike says about Eberflus. A lot of rumors about him if they don't win tonight that he get fired. But on the ass end of that, I'm thinking to myself, if they fire Eberflus, Hightower's probably going to go up as head coach. But then we're missing a defensive coordinator. So they're going to have to, promote people. They're not going to get any coaches around the league in a week that doesn't need, that needs a job and stuff like that. Everybody's secured, stuff like that. But Eberflus is definitely on the hot seat. I didn't think about this week. I was saying about if we get blown out at home against Minnesota, I would say that's the end. But there are a lot of rumors this week about Eberflus going if they don't win tonight. What do you think, Dan?
I think it's going to be I think tonight, if they don't win tonight, I think Eberflus is gone.
And it's not an easy game.
No.
They're playing Washington. They're 2-2. They took Philly to overtime last week, and they should have beat Philly. I was pissed off because everybody knows how I feel about the Eagles. I hate them. And, Sweat on their defensive line is a beast, and they got, Curtis Samuel, Dobbs isn't, Sam Howell, he's doing all right. I mean, he's keeping the Washington in the games, but Brian Robinson, he's a tough runner. We're going to have problems with him tonight. And what Adam said, yeah, it's true about Dick Butkus, and prayers and go out to his family. Great player, obviously, tight end for the Chicago Bears. Great coach, won the Super Bowl in '85. He didn't put up with shit. I liked his attitude towards players. You don't see many coaches acting like him towards their players around this time of year. So, yeah, like I said before, it's a tough loss. He was 80 years old, had a good life, had a good football career, and like I said, all our hearts go out to his family, and But tonight's game, Washington at Washington. I hope Patty too. I hope we do win. I don't see us winning. I mean, unless the only thing I think about them winning tonight is
for Dick.
That Dick Butkus could have put a fire in his ass because they all want to win for him. And the other thing is that the loss that Washington had in overtime might have exhausted them and deflated. So that's their only chances of winning. If you go team to team, their defensive line's a lot better. We have better linebackers. We got hurt defensive backs. Brisker is questionable, but he is playing. Eddie Jackson's still out. Jalen Johnson's out. So we need guys to step up. I mean, they did play pretty good last week, not in the second half. But I don't see us winning tonight. I'm
I don't either.
Biggest Bear fan, I think, in the fucking world, and I'm going against my own team. I'm just a realist. Everybody knows
Me
that.
too.
So, yeah, we do need to get more sacks. We only have 2 sacks in 4 weeks. But Washington's offensive line's not bad. We have an inexperienced quarterback, Sam Howell. Yeah, John, I just said that too. We're gonna have problems with their front four with Sweat. I mean, he's just a beast. But yeah, Washington has a pretty tough team, and we remember what we played against them last year on that boring Thursday night game.
Mm-hmm.
We lost like 17-15 or something like that, and it's going to be rough. I don't know if Harmon's playing tonight because we just signed him. I doubt it.
No, Harmon's on the inactive list.
Yeah, so he won Super Bowls with the Patriots, so we need help. And Dan brought it to my attention that Nathan Peterman was released again.
For the third time?
Imagine getting fired from the same job 3 times in 1 year. And I'd be like Dan's attitude. Fucking don't re-sign me ever again.
Don't call me.
And what pisses me off is that usually when players leave the Bears, they do good.
Right.
Sam Mustipher is the new center for Baltimore Ravens. He's a top 5 center this year so far. Sam Mustipher was fucking horrendous for us for his whole career in Chicago. Terrible. And look what he's doing in Baltimore. So, I mean, Mike's coming on soon. I'm going to give my prediction now. I say Washington wins 24-20. That's just my prediction. Dano, what do you think?
20-13 Washington.
So, me and Dano a realist. I mean, I did have the Bears beating the Broncos last week, and I was like, damn, we're doing pretty good. But you got to play both halves of the game. Both halves. That's the key. So, but yeah, so Washington is a tough team. They should have beat the fucking She-Eagles last week. Pissed me off. Yeah, John, I'm thinking that too. Hopefully they rally because of passing away of Butkus. But you got to think, though, Ron Rivera was a Chicago Bear in 85.
Yep.
So you never know. He's upset as well. That might fire his team up, even though they, had a tough loss last week in overtime against Philly. So, Dano, you want to give the injury report?
Let's see. Inactives for tonight. Of course, Chase Claypool, Eddie Jackson, Jalen Johnson, Donta Foreman, Deron Harmon, and Aviante Collins. So inactives for them is running back Chris Rodriguez Jr., defensive end KJ Henry, offensive tackle Trent Scott, offensive guard Chris Paul, tight end Curtis Hodges, and wide receiver Mitchell Tinsley.
Yep. So they still got Curtis Samuel, Terry McGogan, and Logan Thomas is not bad. for a tight end. The same thing, the same keys to winning. We got to get to Sam Howell. We got to get to the quarterback. 2 sacks in 4 games is just terrible. The defensive line's not doing anything. It's like they're 2 seconds. They see the guy running. Okay, he's passing. It's not like these quarterbacks are doing quick passes all the time that we're not getting to the quarterback. We're not getting in there at all. Like I said, last week, our pressures went up from the first couple of weeks, but we're not finishing. We need to close that pocket up, keep the quarterback in the pocket, and then hopefully somebody breaks away and gets the sack. So let's see what Bear Down Mike. Need to feed Herbert and Johnson the ball. Herbert had a great game, his first 100-yard game last week. Johnson, he didn't do shit last week when he got the ball. But we know he's, rookie. I mean, he's no Bijan. Bijan's having a great year so far. But Roshan, I mean, he's going to develop. I'm hoping to see him get a little bit more carries. But Herbert ran the show last week, and I'm happy because he was my starter at the beginning of the year. And, of course, I like Virginia Tech too, so that helps as well. And he also says we need a short field for our offense to beat Washington. Yeah, I like to see more slant passes as well. And to get a short field is that we got to cause turnovers, and we don't have many this year. So the big thing is that we need that Peanut Tillman punch and get some turnovers here and make it a short field. Yes, I do think so, John. I think that fumble, like I said, you can't blame it all on Fields. Komet missed that block, but it's no excuse. But as soon as when he turned around, he was ready to throw, and the ball was already out, fumbled. So I don't know if Komet was supposed to chip that block, but if I was Komet and I see a guy coming right at my quarterback, I hit him anyway. I don't care if it's not part of the play or not. That's what you got to. That's what the adjustments are. So, and Mike, the Bear fan, is late again. It says, and to get a short, good stuff, fellas. I'll be on in about 5 minutes. Yay! Am I cheering for that? Okay. Darian, what's up, bud? Keeping the Commanders' front 7 guessing is one of the keys for the Bears to win. That's for every game. You got to keep that defensive line and linebackers guessing all the time. Justin Fields, he had a good, DJ Moore. Yeah, it was a questionable touchdown. I mean, his one foot hit the ground and the other foot hit the pylon. I didn't know. That's the first time I ever seen that. I thought the pylon might be in the field because obviously it is. And that was a questionable touchdown. But I like the way Fields, the way he's been thrown down the field. He hit Mooney a lot on Sunday, which was a good thing as well. We got to keep it up today. We got to come out with the same gameplay as we did the first half last week. And if we're winning that first half, that's when you start making adjustments a little bit. If you're winning, you got to keep that going. You can't lax that second half because these teams are coming out at halftime saying we're getting our ass kicked. We want to come back and win, just what Denver did last week. So one fumble courtesy of Chase Young. That's the other guy we got to worry about as well. And I mean, he's been, hurt. The rumors were that we should trade for him, but he's not on the field as much. He's unhealthy, but yeah, he's back at it. So we got to keep that composure, and offensive line's got to keep it up like he did last week. Gave Fields some time last week, and what I like about what Fields did last week, he was throwing the ball to where the receiver is supposed to be, not where the receiver is at that time. That's what helped him out last week, and that's what got him number 1 passer to league or the week last week. So keep coming with questions if you guys have them. I'm sure Dan will answer all of them.
Ken Dobbs says Washington 35, Bears 17.
Wow. That means our defense took a shit. Wow. But, it's a short week. That was a deflating loss for us too, so I could take some momentum out of our asses too. Commander's secondary is not very good. Getsky needs to take advantage. True. That is true. But, they did pretty good against the Eagles last week, except for those long passes. So that if I was Justin Fields, I'd be in the film room watching that. And that's what they do, during the week and stuff like that. People get in at like 5, 6 a.m., watch film, then go out to practice.
Hey, Woody, we need the Jeopardy theme for this next comment.
Oh boy, it must be John Dorn. Wow. John, I love you, man. I fucking do. I just I can't say nothing. I can't. John's he's a good guy, and he likes to talk and some shit.
Good.
But very nice guy. Dennis Wiles, can we honestly get some real coaching, not sub AAA assistant coaches? That's what I was talking about last week too, is that we need some coordinators should stay coordinators. I know all the head coaches, they start out as coordinators. But for example, Matt Nagy, head coach, took a shit with us. And look at him now. He's winning Super Bowls, for Kansas City. We need a veteran coach. I was talking about if Pittsburgh keeps playing and Mike Tomlin wants to coach, get him in there. I'll take Mike Tomlin over anybody in the league that's available, if Pittsburgh keeps playing the way they do. And Mike, the Bear fan, joins us finally with his sweaty ass from work. And he's going to come on and tell us his thoughts about last week's game a little bit and tonight's prediction. And why does he have a soccer emblem on? Ken, stop with the soccer. Jesus Christ. My God. So, Dan, any other thoughts about tonight's game or last week's game until Sweaty Ass comes on?
Just try to, play 4 quarters of football, not just half of football.
John Dorn says Packers will trade you Joe Barry to coach for a number 1 draft pick. Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. Man, thank God he doesn't go to Vegas to bet. My God. Yeah, go to Vegas and bet the 101-3 score, John. See what happens. But there you go. So anybody else, ask some questions. You guys are more than welcome to come on the show, talk up, and let us know your thoughts. And are you guys streaming the game tonight? Dano? Yes. Follow Mike the Bear fan. If his sweaty ass can. Oh, there he is.
Man, it's been a long day at work, but yeah, I've been tuning in. I heard what you had to say, but I mean, the good thing is we do have Jenkins coming back. When he is in the role, he does play real solid. But as you said, the injury report, like our DBs are banged up. So I'm with you guys. I don't think we pull this win off at all. I think our offense does a little something. I just don't think our defense will. 14 straight losses with 25 more points given up. Unfortunately, I don't see that getting any better at all. I like the way the offense played for the most part. A couple mistakes by, like you said, Fields on the fumble. but the intentional grounding also, you know what I mean? Just a few mistakes. But overall, he had his first 300-yard throwing game, which if you looked at it, he was by far the best quarterback to play last week.
And he broke that completion record as well, 16.
Yep, and it should have been – I wouldn't have thrown it. Like, I'm not throwing a Hail Mary. I'm 16 for 16, coach. We're going to kneel it, and I'm going to come back out in the second half and play some ball. That's just – but, I mean, it was nice for sure.
To go back to Bearman Mike, I guess, yeah, about his Ben Johnson. That's what I was saying, too, about Ben Johnson. He's going to go somewhere. I don't think he's going to go into the division, though. That's my honest opinion. Jim Harbaugh is my favorite Bear quarterback of all time. But if Michigan does good again this year, I don't see him going anywhere.
Good or not, I don't think Harbaugh is even going to be questioned. You might see the height, but I don't even think that's even possible. I think he's going to stay in Michigan for sure. But if you look at the quarterback sack ratio this year, Fields and Howell are in the top 3. Howell's been sacked 24 times. Daniel Jones at 22. And then you got Fields at 17. So, and with our pass rush, like you said, 2 sacks in 4 games. That's terrible.
Why do we go out and get Yannick?
He got one of them.
Well, that's right. Yeah, he got half of them.
He got the first one.
But you got to think, though, look at this. Khalil Mack had 6 sacks last week. Has more than we have all year.
That's his best game in 3 years.
Well, that's good. He's old,
I mean, that's impressive for sure. 6 sacks in 1 game, impressive, 100%.
When Justin got that fumble, can you tell me he tried to throw it away? No, he did not try to throw it away. He was throwing it to the right side towards the sidelines. And like I said, the defensive end was running up. Komet could have chipped him, but Komet was like, no, I got to go.
Bear down Mike, has Justin Fields ever really thrown it away?
Yeah, no.
Just saying. He needs to, don't get me wrong, but he don't throw it way too often.
Well, I agree on the need to blitz our LBs, but we need to start doing, getting these offenses confused. We got to start running these cornerback blitz. I mean, we got to do it. Even though our DBs are hurt right now, I mean, you can get Stevenson. Stevenson's down there. He can do easily a cornerback blitz and get them thinking. Get them thinking. So.
But have you guys talked about anybody on the hot seat possibly tonight or tomorrow?
Yeah, we're talking about Eberflus and stuff like that. Like,
obviously somebody's responsible. Somebody has to be responsible. And honestly, we haven't won in damn near a year.
Right.
That's terrible. Regardless how bad the team is, you should at least get 1 win. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A year ago last week, or no, this week coming up is when the Velus Jones fumble when I was at that game against the Giants. So it's but I'm talking about like the head coaches, if we lose tonight, Eberflus gets fired, I can see them promoting Hightower. What the rumor is, Hightower up to our special teams coach to head, like Getsky, but then we need a defensive coordinator. I don't think that Hightower, he runs the special teams. So Hightower can't do a 2-E like Eberflus is trying to do. So unless, listen to this.
Yeah.
Promote Hightower and knock Eberflus back to defensive coordinator. Was that ever done?
No. The only thing I hated last week, I don't know if you guys actually talked about it or not, is the play calling's getting a little better, but my question is, who is responsible for the 4th down? Let's try to go for it when we're in field goal range. I could see the first time for them jumping off sides, I could see it. But you tried to go for it, and that cost you the game. We could have been in the lead by 3 if he made it. And the way Santos been playing, he would have probably made it. So I think all that was, I think he needs to be shit canned.
I think the head coach makes that call because he makes the call to punt. he makes the call to go for it on 4th down.
He might not have picked the play, but he said, let's go for it.
Absolutely. Yep.
I don't like that because, like I said, we haven't really been in the lead. We haven't really won in about a year. Our team's better than last year, but then they make some stupid coaching decision. And like you said, no second half adjustments. Like we were rolling the first half, and then all of a sudden,
like I said, Poles is going to be on everybody's shit list if Chicago loses tonight. If Chicago loses tonight and Poles doesn't make a coaching decision, everybody's going to start looking at him too.
I think he's made that decision already.
Yep.
That's just my opinion. Because Poles, I think, has done a pretty good job for the GM bringing in better talent than what we had. I just feel like the coaching hasn't been that good, especially since our defensive coordinator, all of a sudden resigned. Eberflus with that defense isn't getting it better, and he's a defensive-sided mind.
But see, the thing is about if I'm a defensive lineman, like say if I'm Yannick, you know what I mean? Say if I'm Yannick and I'm doing one thing. The coach says, get to the quarterback, and you're not doing it. It's either the player or that defensive line coach's issue. Right. It's not like you're a quarterback that you have to follow plays. If you're a defensive lineman, you don't have to fucking do any of that shit. Go get the quarterback, stop the run.
Well, Halas been sacked 24 times, so we could double our sack rate at the end of this game. We can move to 4.
Yeah, I know. Or 1.5 will work too. You know what I mean?
No, I want 2. I'm trying to be greedy. At least 2.
But I was just telling Dan before is like, they released Nathan Peterman again, and it seems like when it always happens with the Bears players when they get released, let go, they do good. Sam Mustipher is top 5 center for Baltimore.
Why couldn't he do that in Chicago though? Just saying.
I mean, can we have Olin Kreutz back, please? So it's boggling.
Is Hilgenberg available?
Yeah, Tom Thayer, maybe he's can he play still? He can broadcast. I know that. I don't know. Did anybody get do you have the standings from I think I'm 2-2.
I'm 2-2.
I'll have put me on the spot, Woody.
Yeah,
man, I've been working
I see
weeks.
I see the sweat coming down from the work that you had.
I have it on a note somewhere on a disc. I do have
Jason gave his prediction. He says Washington 34-20, not the Bears winning.
And then John Dorn, Mike gave his prediction 101-3 Redskins.
Who said 34-20?
John Dorn said 101-3.
No, who said 34-20?
Jason. I got them all written down, Mike.
Oh, okay, cool. Go ahead.
If offense looks good but defense still struggles, should Eberflus still be fired? This is my opinion. I say if we don't get any sacks within the next 2 weeks, defensive line coach has got to go. Because that's why Russell Wilson shouldn't have been that good last week if he would have got to him. If we're up 28-7, all our defense has to do is play defense. It was like the Pro Bowl, like defensive line stopped. Oh, we're winning. We'll stop. We can't hit them. We got to keep we should have came out on fire like we did in the first half. And Mike, you got your wish. They did make second half adjustments last week.
You said they did?
To lose.
That's not second half adjustments. To lose. That's struggling.
Yeah, so I that's a tough question, Mike, is about the coaching. Should Eberflus be fired? I'm thinking if we lose again and offense struggles and defense struggles, whatever, it all comes down to the head coach. The head coach fucked us up the first 4 weeks. And the 3 wins that he has total.
I think if the defense, only gets a couple sacks, regardless how many sacks they get, somebody's accountable. 25 straight points given up. Not only that, 14 straight losses. coaching. I mean, 100% not all the time, but like I said, the offense produced last week. They did well. Like you said, Herbert was over 100. Moore was over 100. Komet had 2 TDs.
Yep.
And our linebackers studded out. Obviously, they always do, just for the fact our defensive line sucks.
Yep.
I mean, they're over 100 tackles in week 5. All of them put together, over 100 tackles.
And what I didn't see this year yet, and I seen him do it for Buffalo, Edmonds has got a, he was a sacker. He's young. He was already 2 Pro Bowls.
Yeah, but that's also play calling on blitzing them with schemes and stuff like that.
That's what I mean. Play calling. Yep. But that's Eberflus right now. I mean, it was Allen Williams for a while, then he resigned, and now you got Eberflus that is a defensive coordinator in Indianapolis, and he can't do shit with this defense either. So I don't know. He's gotta go. I think if we get killed tonight, he's definitely gone. Definitely.
I think we lose regardless, and we give up 25 points or more, he's gone.
Well, I said 24-20, but we'll see. Because remember last year's boring Thursday night game against Washington, we lost 17-15. But this is a lot better Washington team, and we're the same. So you might be right. I don't know. I just don't want to put another hole in the wall like I did. I really don't.
I don't think Edmonds was a bad signing either. I think it was a good signing. He's been playing very well. I mean, minus no sacks, but you got to point to, play calling.
Well, TJ Edwards too is doing a great job too. He had what?
Yep.
The first 2 weeks he had 16 tackles each game, and then you had Edmonds, Jermaine, and he had 15 tackles week 3. So their linebackers are doing their job. Oh, you put a hole in the TV? I wouldn't fucking do that.
No, I don't do that either. I get mad, but I don't do that.
I get mad, but now I need to call a spacular for this fucking wall.
So nobody picked the Bears today?
No.
I didn't get Samantha's Billy's prediction at all.
Just me, Woody, Ken, and Jason so far. The only picks we got.
Well,
everybody's got Washington.
I'll give mine. I think we're going to give up 25 plus points. I say we lose 27-23. I think our offense still does something, but our defense is struggling because our defensive backs and safeties are struggling. The only one in is Brisker.
Yeah, and
he's not 100.
I said earlier in the show, I said we're going to have problems with Brian Robinson. He's a great runner for them. And then you got the 2, you got Terry at wide receiver, and then you still got Curtis Samuel too. So our DBs are going to get work tonight because Terry gets open. You know how DJ Moore gets open? Watch him. I don't know. I fucking give up. Hockey season starts.
He's talking about hockey already.
I'm talking hockey starts next week. I don't give a fuck. Devils undefeated. Let's go. Bring it. 30-24 Bears from Phillip. And Phillip, since you're watching, why do you think we're going to win 30-24? What makes us better than Washington tonight? Anybody that thinks the Bears are going to win, I want to know why you think that's better than we're better than Washington. I want to know why you think that.
Right on the power rankings, you know where we sit?
Last, baby.
Exactly. You seen it too?
Yeah,
nowhere but up, right? Nowhere up. Can't go down.
Yep. And Arizona is supposed to be the last fucking place team this year in the league. So. And Dennis says 20-17. Put all your score predictions in Mike the Bear fan. You might win something free like I did. So, but all you got to do is put your score prediction in and put Woody behind it. That's all you got to do.
And I'll send that out Saturday, Woody.
That's fine. No rush on that. Don't matter. But all right, like again, R.I.P. to Dick Butkus and him and his family. Like I said, it could put a fire in the Bears' ass, but you got to think Ron Rivera's on the other side. That wasn't part of the '85 Super Bowl team. When we'll see what happens. We'll see. Can't catch a break.
Seems that way, right?
Yeah, it seems like yeah.
Well, we're a few minutes from kickoff.
What time is it? Oh, is it 8:15?
Yep. And like Woody said, every month I do a free giveaway for signed Bears merch. Comes with COA and everything. All you got to do is comment, like, share my post, be top followers. I literally post once a week and about 50 people qualify, and then we get the winner on a live show, either on Wednesday night or Sunday morning.
And then if you guys do win the merchandise, make sure you go get it appraised. Make sure it's top notch.
Oh, it's top notch. You can Google it. All you got to do is put the number in, and it tells you when, where, and everything. But yeah, for the people that are watching, we'll be live here in the next 5 minutes to live coverage of the Bears and Washington game. Appreciate you guys doing the show, starting it and everything, Woody and Dan.
No problem,
sir. So this was you want to put that Philip comment? This is why I asked why you think the Bears are going to win. We definitely are a more talented team. If our defense, if is a big word, if our defense starts to click and our young guys step up, Fields plays good under the lights. Did he win all 5 of his games under the lights? I know we beat San Francisco in a monsoon last year, week 1, but yeah, that's what I want too, is the defense to click. That's the big thing. Each side's got to, be consistent. It can't be, offense be good one week and our defense sucks. It's got to be consistent. Both of them got to be playing good. So that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it.
All right, I believe we only have one thing left. Final thoughts and the Woody wrap-up.
Yeah, like I said, R.I.P. to Dick Butkus and his family. Our prayers are with you. Our keys to winning today, obviously, got to get to Sam Howell. Is he the second most sacked quarterback in the league, Mike? Or first?
First, with 24.
Okay. So we know the offensive line takes a shit. So Yannick, Dexter, Jones, Billings, get in there. Do something. Do your cornerback blitzes, linebacker blitzes. Make the offense think. If you get that offense to be comfortable, they're going to run all over fucking us. We got to stop the run with Brian Robinson and cover the 2 great receivers they have. Samuel's a little bit down this year. It's Terry. And their tight end, Logan Thomas from Virginia Tech. Not bad. Not bad. They should have beat the Eagles last week, which I was hoping. So that puts in the back of my mind, if you're playing the runner-up in the Super Bowl that good in Philly and losing in overtime, you're a good team. So that's my Woody wrap-up.
And to add to it, 3rd down conversions, we have to stop them. 3rd and long, we're terrible.
Yep. Yeah, I'd rather have a 3rd and 3 and a 3rd and 15.
Right.
Because that soft goddamn Tampa 2 defense still. Oh.
But we'll see everybody in about 5 minutes. Until then, if not, we will be back live Sunday morning on our regular time at about 11:30 a.m.
All right. Bear down, everybody.
Bear down.